What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. We're going to talk the Texans preseason game versus the Panthers. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all already know what y'all want to talk about, what y'all want to hear about. Y'all want to hear about DeShaun Watson, D-Dub-Fo. That's what y'all want to see. Y'all want to know what he did, how he did. The boy played well. A boy came out there and played well, and in my opinion, he proved that he should be the starting quarterback. I've been on this stance going into training camp, and during training camp and after training camp, well, we're in the middle of training camp right now, that DeShaun Watson is the best quarterback on the roster, and he should be the starter. And he would be the starter by preseason game 3, because everybody knows the third preseason game is when you do the dress rehearsal. Is when the starters play the most minutes. Is when you actually have schemes. Is when you actually do some semblance of trying to run the offense that you're going to run, and not out there just playing generic football like a lot of the stars are playing. You're gonna be playing. The stars are actually gonna be playing real football and real schemes. And I think that's when he will be the starting quarterback. And then if that's the case, if you start in the third preseason game, you start in week 1 of the regular season. So, this is the difference between DeShaun Watson and Tom Savage. Because Savage didn't play bad, but Savage looked like Savage. And I've been on this stance since Savage's rookie year when he came in the game against the Colts, when Fitzpatrick broke his leg. That it's something about Savage that seems jittery to me. It seems like he's not comfortable. It's like it takes him a while to get the juices flowing, for him to get the butterflies to settle down, and for him to actually run into or get into a rhythm and settle down and actually play. Because he was holding on to the ball a little bit too long. I'm all the way down here in Texas. They playing in Carolina, and I'm sitting there yelling at the screen, "Throw the ball, Tom! Throw the ball." Tom, throw the ball. He was holding on. The offensive line is not the best offensive line anyway. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. And you sitting there holding the ball too long. Like, yeah, it's clear that he's holding the ball too long. It's taking too long for the ball to get out. It's like the offense is stagnant. It's playing very slow. It's a slow pace offense. Now I know that they really not running real schemes, but I think with Savage he is, because he needs to see how Savage can play. So I think he probably was really running the actual scheme, because normally the first 2 preseason game starters really don't run schemes. They're just out there just playing base offense, base defense, because they try not to get hurt. So they're just trying to get him in, get the juices flowing, and then get him out. They're not really trying to get into any injuries. So, but Savage is in a different situation, because he's kind of in a quasi quarterback competition with the young Ricky and Watson. So he's actually running the offense, and it just seems just very stagnant, just slow pace. And then even when the offense started going, it looked good, but it did not look like something that would be boom, 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 boom. When Watson got in there, Watson looked comfortable from the jump. As soon as he took a snap, DeShaun Watson looked comfortable. Like, as soon as he got out there, he looked like he'd been there before. Like, he won 5 Super Bowls. Like, I do this. Like, y'all need to Google me. I've been doing this. I've been leading teams to Super Bowls and stuff like that. He just looked very comfortable. Then he was making the correct right reads, the right decisions, the right checkdowns, when to throw the ball away. He wasn't taking chances. Even when he was running, he made the right decision to run. It was his second scramble of the game. He could have clearly got the first down if he would risk his body. But he made the smart decision to slide. It was second down. It wasn't third down where you need to get that first down. It was second down. You can slide, and then you slide at 31. You pick up that first down the next play. You don't need to go out there and risk your body and risk getting hurt. You're a small frame dude. Anyway, he runs smart. I was a huge RG3 fan coming out of college. And that's something that my boy RG3 never mastered. He never mastered the art of the baseball slide. He had to go to take baseball classes and still couldn't slide correctly. The way he slides, like he's gonna break his own leg. He didn't slide right. I seen that off top with Watson. Watson was making the right reads. He looked very, very, very comfortable. Like, the moment's not too big for him. Like, he just come out there and just run the offense and whatever. And Bill O'Brien stated that it was some 50% good, some 50% bad. I don't think it was that cut and dry. I think it was a little bit more good than it was bad, but he ain't going to come out there and tell him that. He got to make him think he needs to work on some things. And he did miss some throws. I mean, he overthrew his tight end that would have been like an 80-yard touchdown, and then he short-armed Jalen Strong. So his deep ball accuracy does need to improve. I'm not saying that he's perfect. His deep ball accuracy does need to improve. But what I'm trying to say is that he looks comfortable. He looks way more comfortable in his first preseason game than Savage looked at any game Savage ever played. I mean, you look at the games last year. It took a while for the mold to get running against Jacksonville. It took a while for the mold to get running against the Bengals on the game before Christmas. Like it takes Savage a while to get the juices flowing. Watson just came out there. Now I know it's a preseason game. That's why I'm not gonna talk about the stats of how many yards he threw, how many yards he rushed, he got the touchdown. Because I'm not talking about stats. I'm I'm talking about how they look making the right decisions. Because that's what you're judging when you go in the preseason. You're judging makes the people are doing what they're supposed to do. They're playing the right assignment. And so you know how to coach them up and when not, and that, okay, you did this right, but this is what you need to do. Or this is the next step. You did this right, but you need to do this to make it even better. That type of thing. And he just looks like he's ready to. Progress. He looks like he's already done with phase 1, phase 2. He's on to the next phase of being a starting quarterback. He just looks very, very comfortable. And I think that I still think that Savage is going to start the second preseason game, but I think that Watson's going to get some time with the ones. And I think Watson's going to start the last preseason game. Not the last one, but the third preseason game against, I forgot who they play. I know the next game is the Patriots. But I think he's going to start the third preseason game, which is the dress rehearsal, and they're going to do what they got to do to make sure you see. He came back after halftime, did the halftime adjustments. I knew that was going to be a thing that he's going to try to get him to do halftime adjustments, see how he adjusts to that. I think, in my opinion, he adjusted well, but I don't know what Bill O'Brien was telling him during halftime. But I'm just saying, I just think that did well. I like D'Onta Foreman. D'Onta Foreman looks like he's going to be a nice piece. I think that's the future backfield for the Texans is Watson and D'Onta Foreman. I think towards the end of the season this year and next year, definitely by next year, D'Onta Foreman is going to be the starting running back. He looked more assertive. He knew how to hit the holes, because that's my issue with Lamar Miller. To me, every time Lamar Miller runs, it's like he's not comfortable. He's hesitant when he wants to hit the holes. Because when he's running, he's about to hit the hole, he's like, I don't know, is that the hole or is that not the hole? I think that's the hole. And if you hit the hole a second later than when you should have, that's enough time for the defender to come and close the box in. And you could turn, that game could have been a 10-yard break. Instead of that, you let it be a 4-yard run because you let the defender close in towards the hole. So you shorten your game by 5 and 4 yards because you're not being assertive enough. You're not being decisive enough. You're being too hesitant when you run the ball. That's my issue with Lamar Miller. Is like he doesn't know he doesn't know that if he's hitting the hole right. Like Foreman did not have that problem. He just put his head down and just trucked. He just went ahead and just busted. And I think that's key. And that's something that the Texans have never had, because Foster was never that type of running back. Foster was more smooth with it. But he knew how to hit the holes. He knew how to make the right cuts. And then he knew how to create his own cuts. And he was a special type of back. And I think Foreman is going to be just a put your head down lunch pail and just bust it through. And I like that. I like to see that. And I like to see Watson. And I think, we still got Tyler Irvin and Akeem Hunt to do the little speedy things on the outside. And I'm not discounting Lamar Miller. I'm not saying we need to get rid of Lamar Miller. I just think that Lamar Miller is not the starting running back. I just think he's not starting running back. I think he's a complimentary back. I don't think he's a starting back. I know he rushed for 1,000 yards. It's because we gave him the ball a lot last year. And I know the offensive line is not the best offensive line, but it's also not the worst. There's plenty of offensive line like Indianapolis that's worse than ours. But I just think that he's not decisive enough to run the football as a starter, to put all your eggs in his basket. You definitely need a dual running system. He's not a Foster type, and you give him the ball 20 to 25 carries a game and let him just get you 115 yards week in and week out and just lean on him. If you're going to lean on the running game and lean on him. If you're going to lean on the running game with him in your backfield, you're going to need a dual running back. And I think that D'Onta Foreman is the type of running back that you can lean on in a game. You can lean your system on him, like we're gonna run the ball 20 to 25 times, give him 20 to 25 carries, and just let him go, put his head down, go. And I think that this way DeShaun Watson was able to command the offense, able to make check downs and make reads and make decisions on the fly and tell people to come this way and come that way and stop and do this right here. And this first preseason game showed me the maturity that he has, the comfortability that he has, and that he has what it takes. He has that it factor. He really does. I'm not worried about the wins. I'm not worried about the stats when it's come to preseason. I'm just looking how do you look running this system. Do you look comfortable? Do you make the right decisions? Even if it's an incompletion, was that the right decision? Was that the right read? And from what I was standing, from where I was sitting, it looked like it was. And same thing with D'Onta Foreman, it looked like it was. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell to get more videos. I holla.